Thanks for the questions. Just to say, I find it as equally difficult to explain this space. You know, as mentioned earlier, it's an ongoing creation. It's a rabbit warren of wonderful wonders. And of course, you know, as Ros was saying, you go around a corner and there's something else going on. I would say the total area of the space is probably half the size of a football field. Maybe that's a little bit big. But it's overflowing into the garden. We've got some amazing sculpture gardens happening. I don't know whether any of those images were a part of your package earlier on. And that flows again onto this amazing arena we have, botanical gardens, etc. Your second question was, who comes to House on Fire? People come from all over the world. It's absolutely amazing. People come from Zimbabwe to see Oliver Mdugudzi perform at House on Fire. People come from Cape Town to see Freshly Ground. So there's a real sense of coming to the venue to experience the magic of the performance. The space becomes you. That's a phrase I like to use. There's a real sense of wonder, and when everything comes together, the performance, the space, there's a spirit that nobody can describe.
I can't say anything to that. That was absolutely wonderful. Yes. So,
was there any follow-up to that, or any other questions for the other artist who's singing here, Dr. Jans?
I'd like to talk to the musician that we just heard from here. I love what you just played. And, I'm interested in, where you trained, or did you just pick up guitar like most of us in the U.S. pick it up by playing beer commercials in front of the TV? Or, how did you learn? Where did you learn? Did you play in bands? Where did you get to your current level of proficiency?
It's a self-taught, instrument that I play. I learned, from my friends. I used to, by profession, I'm a mechanical engineer, but then I've took, the music career now as something that I'm full-time doing. I taught myself, I've been listening to country and western music, when I grew up, Don Williams, Dolly Parton. And then I went to Tracy Chapman, Joanna Trading. Then I listened to Jonathan Butler from South Africa, Miriam Makeba, Hugh Masekela. And then in West Africa, it has been Salify Keita, Angelique Kidjo, and Eric Clapton, of course, Babyface. So it's a combination of that. But I make sure that I don't lose myself. I don't lose, the core of, the Swazi culture, in me. So I've been inspired by those people. So I think that's why maybe you are enjoying it too. So because I have those elements, but then I sing in Siswati.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Jans, for that.
Well, one more question.
Sure, go right ahead.
One more question. When are you going to come to Orlando and play for us?
When are you going to come to Orlando and play for us?
As soon as you invite me, especially Christmas time, because there's a lot of food as well.
Question for Baloja here, and she's also kind of following on Dr. Jans' question, so that's why I'm going to call on her next, because she's really interested in the quality of music education in this country and what sorts of opportunities there are. So, Ms. Katsaros, what you'll see is when I call on you, all you got to do is click and accept the ability to go live. And there is some delay in the system, so that's why sometimes you see me just kind of giving a few extra words while the person's being called on, and so the question can actually come all the way back to here. And do you have any children in your family who are trained musicians? Either one of you? I'm curious. Sisters, brothers?
We're all budding, or we all like to think we're budding musicians, but we get our satisfaction through having the Balojas of this world on our stage. And again, it's just amazing to see what's really possible. I think to maybe start answering the question, Swaziland doesn't have huge capacity. There's definitely ability and talent, and I think most importantly, a story to tell. And we're certainly needing to develop more structures to facilitate the growth of the arts in Swaziland. Of course, this is one of the things that House on Fire is achieving. But maybe, Boloja, you can go into it in a bit more detail.
I just found out that Ms. Katsaros just doesn't have her webcam and mic ready, so I could tell that her question was about the availability of music education for the children of Swaziland, and if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Okay. We'll let you talk about that.
Yes. We don't have, a formal music school here in Swaziland. We just have the platform, where to perform, and it's here at House on Fire, and I think this has been the right school for me, teaching. But in terms of formal education, we don't have that. It's only in a few high schools here in Swaziland, specialized, like Waterford Kamhlaba, they teach music there. But for everybody, for the Swazi, the Swazi people, that we have a music faculty. No, we don't. We rely on South Africa, but it is changing a bit by bit, because now at least one of my friends by the name of Mluleki Dlamini Tianza, he has managed, to open just a music school, but which is just in a house, in an apartment. So he's been helping at least people to get their grade 1, grade 2s and grade 3s, but then it's via Waterford High School. So we don't really have. So it can be a pleasure to have people from your side to come and assist here in Swaziland in terms of that, workshops and so on.
That brings to mind a question from me. I wonder whether the government is, being asked to begin any type of programs in the schools.
We actually have a schools festival as part of our Bushfire Festival, which kicked off this year, actually. And again, kind of acknowledging a real need to, I think, firstly, just offer exposure to kids who aren't aware of the opportunities that exist within the arts, arts as education. And we did get support through tourism, through government, for the schools festival, and that's been fantastic. We had an amazing event, primarily based around workshops, so kind of facilitated environments, sharing information with kids, and to see these kids respond was extremely special. So I think, as Mbongseni is saying, that there are things happening. I think we've got to go a lot further. Government's very compromised in terms of what it can offer financially. So in the main, it requires people like ourselves who have passion to really drive these kind of initiatives. And we keep doing it because we believe in it. From zero to hero to glory, there's hope we all carry.
I'd like to maybe add something on that. I was lucky because when I realized that His Majesty King Mswati III, he is very involved in arts. He likes arts, he loves arts so much. And it's one of the questions that he asked me, that do I have formal education, in my career? And I said, no. And he said, okay, I'm sponsoring you. Then from his own, pocket, he popped out money that, must attend school in wherever, but then by then I was attending in South Africa, so I don't know, but I still have the budget for the scholarship, that he popped out for me, to attend the arts while still, the government is still processing and, going for the hero, for the glory of the arts industry. So His Majesty is very supportive, and we hope that it will be an example to everyone, and it will influence everyone in the government sector, especially in the arts, that people must put out money, so that many people can be educated, in the field of arts here in Swaziland.
Thank you very much, both of you, for those answers. We have one last question.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to one because it's got 4 votes. We have to get to it. Thank you, S. Katsaros, for that last question. It provoked a very nice conversation about musical education. Plus, she's my sister, so I had to give her a shout. Okay,
This is a family thing.
okay. So Jay Craycroft, I see you have a popular question that's recorded, so this one's going to come up right away. And M. Williams, hang in there, because if we can squeeze you in, this is a question for Jigs about the proceeds, about the art. So first, Jay Craycroft, here's your question recorded.
I just have a question about how well received avant-garde music and artwork is perceived over there in Africa, and if maybe it's slightly more popular than it would be over here in America. And any thoughts on that?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm certainly an appreciator of the avant-garde. I think, as with anywhere in the world, the avant-garde's left of center, and it has a niche market. It's definitely supported by much fewer people, and I think that's what makes it interesting. Is it's not popular. It raises some interesting ideas. It's presented extremely differently. I find it a very important form of expression, and it's something that we like to try and bring to House on Fire. Obviously, we're curtailed in terms of what we can do. Everything costs to bring people into Swaziland. So, we approach these things realistically, but I'd like to say there's certainly a platform for the avant-garde here. The festival, Bushfire, next year celebrates cultural meeting points. Our theme is mixing the point. And we're exploring harmony and contrast, and I think that provokes a lot of interesting concepts. And certainly we're looking at different ways of expressing that idea. The avant-garde does come to mind. Thanks for the question.
Before we go, I want you to tell them when Bushfire occurs.
Just to say, the Bushfire website is www.bushfire.co.sz. It happens at the end of May, the 27th to the 29th next year, 2011. Just to answer the other question, all the proceeds go to an organization called Young Heroes. They are the beneficiary. They received 140,000 in Malangeni last year. And we're proud to be associated with them and raising awareness around the orphan plight that faces us in Swaziland.
Thank you very much. Okay. Alex?
Well, he responded in the chat saying it just definitely looks like a safe place to be experimental. So it's a compliment to everything that you've done here. I think there's one more recorded question. You may have just addressed it, but about the proceeds, where they go. So actually, we'll just go ahead and go to back to Phil, because I think we answered the question about where the proceeds go. So thank you very much for this performance and sharing your space with us, Jigs, and for participating with our students, because we're here for them too. And all of you, we wish you were here with us, but this is the next best thing we can do to bring you with. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jigs, for joining us. We're about to go into intermission now, and I'm just...
Is this where we get popcorn?
Yeah, I wish. Well, I'd like to just thank everyone for having us here. We're going into our intermission, and right now, because we're prototyping, Alex is running back to the mixing board to get ready for the intermission, because we all do many things here. So I look forward to seeing you all come back after our intermission. It's going to be 5 minutes. Don't leave. We've got more music. I'm going to hand this back to Dr. Howard and let her say thank you to our guests.
Thank you, Phil. Jigs, this has certainly been a wonderful opportunity. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Wow. And I think that, it brings joy to me. When I just walk around here, I see glass shining and wonderful poetry and the people who I've met whose lives have been influenced so much by you and this place. And thank you very much, Beloja, and for sharing your beautiful music.
It's a pleasure.
And we wish you all the best in your new endeavor and much more success.
Thank you very much. Same applies with me.